One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for our people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. All my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for our people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play. One day, 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 one day. One day, one day, we will turn. One day we will change. One day the world will change. One day, one day, one day, one day.
Good morning. I'm Reverend John Riley. I have the joy of serving as your senior minister. I have a frog in my throat, but that's okay. It is wonderful to see you here. Thank you all for being here this morning. For those of you who are here in the sanctuary, for those of you who are online watching on our live stream, and for those who are tuning in during the week, wherever you are in this moment, know that you're in the right place at the right time right now. Yes? Unity is a global spiritual community welcoming people from all walks of life. We teach positive, practical spiritual principles that you can apply in yourself every day to help you live a more joyful and abundant life. We're so blessed to have with us today Lisa Whitfield as our platform leader, Ronnie Beck as our drummer, Russell Norman on piano, and Margot LeDuc as our soloist. And so we will begin our service with our opening song. I invite you all to stand as Margot leads us in our two songs.
All right, here we go. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live, yeah. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh,
Come on,
holy,
sing it out,
holy
you guys.
way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love, let me love.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way.
Let me serve.
Oh, let me serve in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Holy, holy way. Give yourself a round of applause. That was excellent. Here we go. Letting go just a little bit, just a little bit more. Letting go just a little bit, just a little bit more. Help me let go, help me let go, help me let go just a little bit more. Help me let go, help me let go, help me let go just a little bit more. Letting go just a little bit, just a little bit more. Sing it with me. Letting go just a little bit, just a little bit more. We need everybody to hear us out there. Letting go just a little bit. That's right. More. Letting go just a little bit, just a little bit more.
Woo! The band, people, the band. I'm just gonna do this until I get it. Okay, all right, that's better, that's better. Okay, good morning, Unity Palo Alto. It's great to see everybody here. It's great to see everybody out there. I can't see you, but I know you're there. I'm Lisa Whitfield. I am happy to welcome you on this journey. As Reverend John said, it's a global walk with lots of people across the planet. We do not go alone. What do we take, people? What do we take? The 5 principles. Starting with, gold star for Kent Whitfield, starting with God is. There is only one power and one presence active in the universe and in our lives, God, the good omnipotence. Now, if you're new to Unity and you're coming from a tradition where that word God makes you feel a little oogie and you don't want it, you don't have to use it. You can use other words in Unity. But I'm going to make a little proposal. Why should all the other guys get God? Right? Let's repurpose it in a Unity way, right? Let's just, every time you think God, think of the Unity way. But Lisa, what is the Unity way? That's our second principle. I am. Okay, take a note. This is the definition. God is the substance and intelligence innate in every person and in all creation. So that means it's one energy, one love, one universe. We're not separate from that. Okay? That guy that cut you off in traffic, God. That arugula that is strangling out all the other things I planted in my garden, God. And I blame John for that because I was trying to weed my consciousness and I forgot to weed my garden, my actual garden. So, it's probably a good trade-off. Our third principle is the law of mind action, which says thoughts in mind produce after their kind. We can intentionally change our experience in the world depending on where we put our energy and our thoughts. Our fourth principle is meditation and affirmative prayer. It's through meditation and affirmative prayer that we can connect with that creative, constructive power of God to live in, through, and as us. And our fifth principle, the secret sauce of unity, daily practice. Gotta walk the walk, people, right? It's through putting all these principles into practice that we can express more of the divine that we are, and life gets better. So all of these 5 principles, when we put them together, help us to live out our vision statement here at Unity, and I'd like to invite you to affirm that with me. Together, centered in God, we co-create a world that works for all. And so it is.
I love you, Lord, for your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hands. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so good. With every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God.
And now our reading from the Daily Word. Today's daily word is I am. I'll read the affirmation and then invite you to affirm it. I am the living expression of God. Together? I am the living expression of God. In the book of Exodus, Moses asks God his name. God responds, I am who I am. I am is the name of the divine presence within me, a reminder of my spiritual nature. Sometimes I may forget my divine identity by thinking of myself as weak, incapable, or unfortunate. If I have spoken disempowering words about myself, I release those thoughts and stop using those words. Each time I say, I am, I strengthen my awareness of the truth of my being. I am God's life, love, wisdom, and strength, expressing uniquely as me. As I pay attention to my thoughts and words, I am able to recognize and release limiting thoughts more quickly. My awareness of my true identity grows stronger and stronger. This is from Matthew chapter 16, verse 15. He said to them, but who do you say that I am?
You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged, or I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you can make you feel so small. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful.
then. Don't be unhappy. Can't remember when I last saw you laughing. And this world makes you crazy and you've taken all you can bear. Just call me up, 'cause you know I'll be there. And I see your true color shining through. True colors, that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful.
And to see
Like a rainbow.
your true colors shining through.
Shine, shine.
See your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors.
True colors,
True colors.
colors,
True colors
colors.
are shining through.
Shine, shine.
Oh, they're shining through like a rainbow,
Shining, shining.
like a rainbow,
Shining, shining, shining.
like a rainbow. Your true
rainbow.
colors shine, true colors shining. Your true colors shining. Your true colors shining. Your true colors shining through, shining through.
Like a rainbow.
Like a rainbow, like a rainbow,
Shining, shining.
shining, shining, shining.
Good morning and welcome. What a beautiful morning it is, yes? You know, today I'd like to talk about the idea of transformation. We talked about the phases of transformation last week, and this week I would like to talk about a labyrinth. The idea of a labyrinth as a form of transformation, both physically as well as a spiritual inner practice of transformation. It's also a beautiful metaphor that we use for our spiritual community and belonging at our spiritual community. Does that sound okay with you? Yes. Wonderful. Well, in the beginning, the Greek myth of the labyrinth first came out, and the first labyrinth was built by the innovator, the architect, the sculptor, Daedalus. Do you remember that? He built it for King Minos of Crete. And he built it because his wife was cursed by Poseidon and gave birth to a minotaur. Now, his wife was cursed because King Minos received a white bull from Poseidon to be used for an offering, a sacrifice, and he didn't use it for a sacrifice. Instead, he kept it, and so Poseidon cursed his wife. Now, Daedalus then came along, and he was asked to build a labyrinth that was very intricate, that was confusing, that was designed to entrap the Minotaur. How many times in our life have we heard this story? Just yesterday. It's just amazing. But if you think about it, how many of us have our own inner Minotaur? How many of us have that fear, that uncertainty, that doubt? How many of us have that ego that we're trying to hide, that we're trying to push down? How many of us have those things that we are attaching our blame, shame, and guilt for, and we want to trap it and push it down and hide it so no one sees it? That's a pretty human condition, right? It's like the ego is in charge. The ego is running amok, and if you're into Ken Wilber, it's that first tier consciousness running amok. Our ego driving all of our behaviors. And that's the ego that's pushing down all of these things, all of our inner minotaur, when really all they really need is for us to bring it out into the light and to give it love. To give all of that blame, shame, and guilt love. To give all of those fears, uncertainties, and doubts love. That's all our inner minotaur needs. Now, the idea of the labyrinth has evolved over time. It's no longer a trap. It's no longer something that we get lost in and hide, right? It's a single path. There's a single entry point. There's a single path around it to the center. And from the center, there's a single path, that same path out to the outer world. So it's not a thing that we're trapping anymore. It now has become a ritual or a way in which we can move through life with ease and grace. So the idea here is that we've shifted and evolved our thinking of this thing called the labyrinth into something new. Now, this picture of the labyrinth on the screen here has a very special story. This picture is a picture of my mom's labyrinth and my brother Dave's property. So here's the story. 13 years ago, we were approaching her 82nd birthday, and my brother Dave said, "What can I get for Mom?" And he remembered how Mom loved to talk about the labyrinth at Unity Village, Missouri, when she was there, how she loved to walk the labyrinth. So he decided, I'm going to build a labyrinth up in Overgard on his cabin up there. They had a lot of property. And he told Mom, for your 82nd birthday, we're going to build you a labyrinth. And she said, right. Well, so Dave set the intention with unwavering doubt. With unwavering doubt, he said, I'm going to build Mom a labyrinth. So the first question was, where am I going to get the materials? Well, a few weeks later, one of the neighbors had a pile of rip-rap rocks. Do you know what those are? Those are the 4 to 6 inch stones that you see that are outlining the path. He had a pile of them. And so he gave them to Dave for free. 14 Bobcat tractor loads later, he had the perfect amount of stones for the outline. A few weeks later, a different neighbor had decided he had too much ground cover for his property, and he piled it all in the street. And Dave drove by and said, hey, would you mind if we take that? And he said, no, absolutely. He was more than grateful for Dave to take it. And again, it was the exact amount needed. It's a true story. So Dave set the energy in motion. He set the intention, and he put the energy with unwavering faith in motion, and he got everything that he needed. Does this sound like something we know? Does this sound like the law of mind action? Does this sound like a prosperity principle? Yes. And that's all it took, a solid intention, rock solid faith, and no pun intended. So we had the materials, and what he needed now was the labor. So Dave organized the secret labyrinth birthday party. He reached out to all of his siblings, me. He got my daughter Erin was involved. She was 16 at the time. My brother-in-law Rick came along, and so we all flew in secretly to Phoenix Airport. Dave and his wife Jan picked us up and brought us up to Heber Overgard, which is a couple-hour drive. And he dropped us off at the back part of the property, and we all hid behind ponderosa trees and bushes. My parents were already at the cabin, so we drove up to the cabin. It was a beautiful day. And he said, why don't we go for a walk to stretch my legs after this long drive? And they said, sure, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to read to you Dave's own words for the experience that occurred. So Dave, my dad, and Jan, and my mom started walking down, and as we approached the area of the labyrinth to be, Mom noticed, hey, there's somebody out there, with a bit of concern. Hearing that, my brother John stepped back and pretended to take a leak on the ponderosa. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's a true story. Mom yelled, someone's peeing on the tree. Someone's peeing. It's John. Oh, how she knows me. The surprise was sprung, and after that, One by one, my siblings, my daughter, my brother-in-law, everyone jumped out one by one and said, "Surprise, happy birthday! Surprise, happy birthday!" Mom was floored. It was unbelievable. So here we are, the family, and over the next weekend, we assembled this labyrinth. We put it together. Now, it's a labyrinth designed after San Vitale in Ravenna, Italy. It's 58 feet in diameter. So just laying out that map was a project in and of itself. And then we started at one side building the labyrinth and filling in with the rocks. We've laid all of the stones by hand, and of course the rocks we would bring in the Bobcat, which Aaron got to drive, pour in some gravel, and then we would smooth it out by hand. And I have to tell you, it was a wonderful experience. And at the end of the weekend, we were tired, we were content, because we had built 1/3 of a labyrinth. Now in my mind, I'm thinking, hey, Dave, good luck building the rest of this labyrinth over the next 2 years. But his faith was steadfast. Within 2 weeks, someone called him. It was the youth director for the church that his kids used to go to as teens. Well, they had come up before and used their cabin and stayed there and then moved on. And they were on their way in a month or so to New Mexico, and they wanted to stop in Heber Overgaard and stay there. And Dave said, absolutely. But would the teens be willing to help me on a little project I have? 18 teens, 6 adults later, they built the rest of the labyrinth in 4 hours. No, this is a powerful expression, a powerful example of what Lisa talked about, the law of mind action. This is a powerful expression and example of our prosperity principles, that when we hold an intention with good intent, when we hold it with absolute faith, the universe opens up for us, and we begin to move through it with ease and grace. Yes? So the labyrinth is a very powerful idea. And it can be used, I love it because for me it's an active form of meditation and affirmative prayer. It's a very solemn act when you're walking in, very still, in the stillness, getting to the center and walking out. For me, it's a very active meditation and practice. But it can also be applied to an inner spiritual practice that you can apply anytime, with any situation, with any circumstance, with anything going on in your life, whether it's positive or you might consider it negative, whatever's happening in your life. This spiritual practice is one that you can take in and do in the moment. It's also a wonderful metaphor, as I mentioned, for the process and the phase of how we belong in community. So here are the 4 phases of the labyrinth as a spiritual practice. The first phase is discovery and decision. You first have to discover that there's a labyrinth, that there's an opportunity present in a situation, yes? Whatever the situation that you're in, can you see that there is an opportunity in it for your own spiritual growth, for your own development, for creating a different experience in your life? You have to discover and awaken to that. So the discovery phase is like the aha moment. You may be in a class and you're like, oh, this is what John's been talking about. You may be along the road and seeing something or hearing something and have that aha moment, some insight that you didn't have before. It's an awakening. And it's an opportunity and an invitation to deepen your spiritual understanding. It's an opportunity to deepen and grow spiritually. Now, we can have that aha moment, right? And you can find that labyrinth. And there are hundreds of labyrinths in California alone. Some of them, you can look them up and you can go hiking and trying to find it. Sometimes we're in the wilderness. Have you ever been to the wilderness in your situation? Not sure where you're going, not sure what you're doing. And then all of a sudden you find this idea, this possibility within you. And now you have the choice, the decision to enter or not. We can do what ego does. We can ignore it, right? We can say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to move along. I've done that. I've gone to a labyrinth and said, nah, I'm not feeling it today. I'm going to move on to do something different. Sometimes it's our ego saying that needs to be right, that's operating below the line, that our ego that wants to be in control of everything and saying, no, I don't need that. Those other people need that. That's none of us, of course, but you know people who are like that, right? Or we can say yes. We can say yes to our own spiritual growth, our spiritual health, and our spiritual unfoldment. It's just saying yes and being willing to step forward. So the first phase is discovering and deciding. The second phase is the entry. We're stepping onto the path now. We're moving into the labyrinth. And on the inner journey of the labyrinth is when we need to release, to mindfully let go of that which no longer serves us, to transcend our stuckness, to transcend those ideas and those beliefs that are keeping us stuck, to let go and release. And as we shed all of that baggage entering into the labyrinth, breathing into that present moment, we begin to receive into that space that we created. We receive in learning, we grow, and we deepen our understanding of our spiritual self simply by saying yes, letting go of our baggage, transcending that which is no longer serving, and moving in to include something new and beautiful. And as you move in, you begin to sink into, that's the experience I have, sinking into a deeper experience of spirit. That's our inward journey to the center. The third phase of the labyrinth. In the center, we're at peace. We've let go, we've opened up, we're sitting in that wonderful beauty that we call God. We're one with the presence of Spirit, the most intimate experience of this divine essence. We're one with the allness of life, the most transcendent experience of this presence. We're overflowing, filled up with love, the harmonizing, healing energy of Spirit. From the center of our being, that love flows, effortlessly overflowing in that presence, in that power. We are in the center. We're in unity with God. The fourth phase is the return. As we come from that space, overflowing with love, we move out into the labyrinth. And that outer journey is our expressing that love that's overflowing within us. You can't run out of it because it is of God. It is just flowing from you as you move through this experience. And so you are being your authentic self. You're expressing that divine talent, those skills that you have. You're living your best self in the world, and you're sharing and you're serving with your community. During those 4 phases, we can use that as an individual practice. Whenever something pops up, discover when you have that aha moment, oh, here's a situation, and I can use this practice. We decide to say yes. We turn within and move within and allow that energy to flow as we let go of all the stress and strain, all of the anxiety, all of the fears, all of the resentments, and move into the center of our being. And in the center of our being, we affirm we are one with the allness of life, love, and wisdom. Divine love is flowing in through and as me in this moment with ease and grace. And then we come back and we express that in whatever situation we're in our own unique and beautiful way. Now, we have to be aware of spiritual bypassing. Have you ever seen a little kid go through a labyrinth? Anybody see a little kid go through a labyrinth? Yeah. How fast do they go? It's like light speed. When do we do that with our spiritual practice? When are we running through the maze to get to the center? I'm there, and then running back out. And bypassing really the spiritual activity of being in it, of the journey itself. Now, how many of you seen the kids walk straight to the center? Forget the lines. I'm going right to the center. Anybody seen that happen? Anybody do that besides me? Yeah. Because we can bypass all of it and just say, I'm going there, and sometimes that's enough. But what are we not doing? What are we not letting go? What are we not taking in? What are we not giving space to? There is the fear, uncertainty, and doubt because there are other people in the labyrinth sometimes. Have you noticed that? There are other people in our experience in life, and we may be fearing what other people think of us. That uncertainty and that doubt keeps us restrained. Our own resentments may keep us restrained. And we can choose to ignore the problem altogether and know we're all in this together. This is the human ego condition. This is our shadow self. This is our pain body, whatever you want to call it. We all have it. And sometimes it's us. It's our inner minotaur. So instead of trying to trap it, push it away, hide it, control it, just bring all of those fears, uncertainties to the light and give it love. Allow that love to flow with ease and grace. So we can put this practice into action daily for positive things and for negative things. So if you have an experience that's just off the chart, can you take a moment, take a breath and decide, I'm going to do a labyrinth experience. I'm going to take it in. I'm excited about it. I'm loving it. It feels so good. I'm going to let go of any attachment that I have to that feeling and just be in the feeling. You know that attachment? That fear that it's going to go away soon? So just let go of the attachment, get into the center, and be in the joy of spirit. And then come out and express freely that joy, that enthusiasm, that bliss by giving to others, by serving others, by being in relationship with one another. All it takes is for us to say yes. That's the first step. To say yes and put one foot in front of the other. One step at a time. Let's move to our affirmation, Felix. This is a long one. Are you ready? Are you ready? Nudge your neighbor, wake them up. I'm going to read it once and just soak it in. And then I'm going to invite us to read it together and affirm it together. Called to a higher vision, I say yes and I let go. I enter into inner space with ease and grace, I glow. At the center of my being, God and I are one. I step out in faith, offer thanks, it is done. Would you affirm that with me together? I can't even read my own writing. Let's affirm this together. Called to a higher vision, I say yes and I let go. I enter into inner space with ease and grace, I glow. At the center of my being, God and I are one. I step out in faith, offer thanks, it is done. And so it is. This is a practice that we can do every day. It's a metaphor for belonging at Unity Palo Alto. When you discover Unity Palo Alto, you're kind of in that decide and discern mode. Is this the right space for me? Is this an opportunity for me? And when we say yes, we step into this idea of spiritual community. And when we get to the center, filled as we grow and learn, we get to the center, and then we decide, is it mine to give, to serve this spiritual community? And we step into the role of giving and discerning. Now we have this wonderful metaphor that we're going to use for our spiritual community as we move forward. This is how we look at the idea of being a part or belonging. When you're here for the first time, we want you to feel like a guest in our home. We want you to feel uplifted, to feel welcomed, to be a part of who we are. And if you say yes, to step into a phase called a community member. It's a new phase for us. It's the stepping stone for somebody's new that says, yes, I want to be a part of this community. I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to take in the energy. And as they get to the center, at some point in time, you might decide, I want to serve. I want to play. I want to be in partnership with our spiritual community. I want to be in partnership with our spiritual leaders, with our community. And so you might step into the governing member role. Now, if you are a voting member already, you are a governing member. Over the next few months, we're going to roll out this as a model so that new people, our guests, can see a path where they can come in, be a part of our community, be receivers, be open, be receptive, and move into a center. And if you're a governing member, if you want to take a step back and go back into receivership mode, you can go back into being a community member. They're just phases of our journey. So we'll talk about more of that later. To wrap up, I know we just heard a poem as our affirmation. This labyrinth that you see on the screen here is the cover of my mom's book, Color This Day Beautiful. It was just such inspiration that she created this book, and you can see the tree where I was pretending to, no, sorry. But I'd like to read a poem from her book called The Labyrinth. I put my pack on the ground and asked that I be taken gently through the labyrinth. God, help me reawaken. I could hurry to the center. I could step across the line. But the journey is my challenge, so the pace I set is mine. Although it seems the path ahead is stumbling back on me, I have lost the need to judge. I am where I should be. I step into the circle. I feel that I have come to the center of myself where God and I are one. I leave my baggage on the ground and seek the footprints of the one who taught us years ago to walk the path of love. Let's take that thought into our time of meditation and affirmative prayer. I'll invite you to take a nice, deep, cleansing breath. To close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or soften your gaze. And before us lies the opportunity to move into an experience of deepening our connection with Spirit. And so I say yes. Breathing into this present moment, I let go of my stress. I let go of my strain. I allow whatever thoughts I have to just gently drift by like the clouds in a beautiful, beautiful day. As my thoughts settle, my heart begins to open. My emotions are at peace. I release and let go of any stress or strain, any frustrations, anything in the past, and just be present to this present moment in God. Each breath, an inner step towards the center of my being. Each breath sinking deeper into Spirit. At the center of my being, there is stillness, infinite peace, the harmonizing energy of love. And so I sink into this experience of God in the stillness of the silence. Filled with infinite peace, overflowing with divine love, I allow that healing, harmonizing energy of Spirit to flow in through and as me. As I begin my journey outward, I see that energy flowing to all of my friends and family, surrounding them and enfolding them with love. We surround our spiritual community with this love, knowing each person is divine in their own unique and special way, expressing their deep connection with Spirit. As we step through, we allow this energy to flow through the world, blessing all of humanity, establishing a greater sense of peace and harmony in the world and on our planet. Together we bless all of creation. We send this energy out into the world. For once you discover this opportunity, we say yes. And with a profound faith, we say love. Let us give thanks and celebrate by singing the Alleluia.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
And with a nice deep cleansing breath, we return our attention at this time in this space, having experienced that inner labyrinth experience, we give thanks and we bless one another. Unity Palo Alto is here to help us discover this spiritual magnificence and to support one another as we walk along this path. We are here as a spiritual community to inspire one another for spiritual transformation, inspire each other to make a positive difference in the world. We're here because of our generous donations and our support of this spiritual community. There are so many ways in which you can support us, through your love offerings, through your service, through your being present and holding space. However you decide to give with love. For it's the manner that we give to the world that we receive from the world. The affirmation that we are saying is on the screen, and I invite you to affirm it with me together. Divine love from me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you're discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you got to let it go, let it all go. And this is what I have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free. I said I am free. Yes, I'm only here, right here for God. That's right, are you free? Woo! Woo!
I'll say it again. I cannot believe this is church. Okay, some of y'all are standing. Just go ahead and stay standing, because you know what we're going to do? Are you feeling it? Are you feeling it? If you're still sitting down, are you feeling like a little vibration in your legs? Go ahead and stand up. We're gonna share this blessing that we're feeling right now, this energy that we're feeling, by turning to the center aisle. On the screen, there it is. We're going to warm up those hands, and we're gonna bless each other. You ready? We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the light in you. Woo! Okay. You may be seated. Well, as you know, here at Unity, we got a lot going on all the time, so I have a couple of announcements. The first one is pick a party sign-up time. It's here, people. This year, we are doing sign-ups online and out in the courtyard today. I think Paul will be at the table, so you can sign up in person or online. If you don't know what these are, pick a party. That's what you do. We're having parties. You pick one, you go, you have fun, you hang out with Unity people. It's a great time. So today it's out in the courtyard, but then after today, it'll still be online. So if you miss today, if you're like, I don't know what my schedule is, it's okay. You can sign up online later. And you can find out more about the parties online as well. Next weekend will be the fourth Sunday of the month, and our beautiful spirit, June Riley, will be running our monthly Bring Your Own Lunch Brunch. If you've never done one of these, especially if you're new and you just want to get to know people, this is a structured, facilitated discussion group. June has icebreakers and discussion topics and rotated seating so that you don't always sit next to the same person. Right? You're going to get to know a lot of people. So that's next Sunday right after the service. And then I'm super excited that this is happening again, Sinking into Spirit. If you did the last one, what this is, it's a sort of combo music and meditation service. It's going to be on June 26th from 7 to 8 p.m., featuring the fantastic Margot Leduc and the Reverend Riley, right? You're going to be there? Yeah. So I'm so excited because I can go to this one. I had to miss the last one. So put it on your calendar. Oh, it's the 17th.
No, that was the last one. Say the number again, June.
Oh, it's June. Yeah, that's not right. 4/17. It's 6/26, right? And it's a Wednesday night. Okay, so get it on your calendar. Show up, people. It's going to be awesome. And then Reverend John has something to talk about for the center update.
Thank you, Lisa. Mm-hmm. Hello. You may not know me, but I'm Reverend John Riley. This is an opportunity for me to share just a few of the behind-the-scenes things that are happening at our spiritual center that don't always come out in our announcements. Remember a couple of months ago I said we're going to start a youth program. Anybody remember that? I didn't know how we were going to do it. I didn't know how we were going to pay for it. But what we did was we put the law of the spiritual law, the prosperity law of cleansing into action. We cleaned out 80% of those rooms back there, the youth rooms and the youth office. Well, today, the nursery is ready to go. Woo. 2 people who have the proper credentials that the state of California requires are ready to go. Yeah. What we need, here's the opportunity for you to say yes if you choose, is to be willing to, if you're wanting to serve one Sunday a month as a youth volunteer. This sacred service, it will require background checks, it will require training, but you can work with our 2 amazing experts in the field of working with kids. And if you would like to, there is a sign-up sheet on my computer that I will soon print out that will be in the courtyard. One thing I forgot to do. You can also go online to our website, unitypaloalto.org/youth, and there's a sign-up sheet for there too. Now, you remember how I said I don't know how we're going to pay for it? Anybody remember that? Well, this last week, someone said, hey, John, I would like to donate $25,000 as a matching grant. Next slide, please, Felix. Next slide, Felix, please. So the matching grant is the opportunity for us to donate to get matched. So just hold on for a moment. Think about this. If we had $50,000 right now, because it's unbudgeted, if we had $50,000 right now to put into place for our youth program, we can have our preschool operations going, our grade school operations, our what comes next? Middle school operations, our high school operations. All four of those groups of people can be ready to participate. So think about this for a moment. Just imagine the energy of having kids from this size to this size in our courtyard after the service. Imagine that energy of the youth really excited about what they're learning here, excited to share, to learn about their own divinity and to shine their light. Imagine what the energy and the feeling would be like, because it will be a little bit of a shift. Are you ready for that roller coaster? If you're ready, raise your hands. Think about what would happen in the sanctuary here, because all of those kids have parents. They're already calling us and saying, hey, we want to come, but do you have a youth program? If with $50,000, we can be well on our way to establishing a program that is evolutionary for our kids, because our kids are our future spiritual leaders. Think of that. So feel the energy, sense the energy in the room as we add new parents, as we add new families, as we add this new experience. Now, if you would like to support this, we would love for you to make a donation. It could be $5, it could be $25, it could be $250,000, whatever you want to give. However you give with love. You can go right now onto our website, hit the blue give button, and there is an option to say give to the youth grant program, and your money will be matched up to $25,000. If you're giving in the sanctuary, just put by check, just put youth grant on the memo line, and we'll apply it to that. Now remember, we still want to play our musicians, we still want to keep the lights on and keep the air conditioning on, so this is really above and beyond our normal giving. Yes?
Yes.
But this is super exciting news, and I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share it with you today. Thank you, Lisa.
That is amazing! It's the third principle, people, in action, just saying. Well, all of these events are on our website at unitypaloalto.org. We also have, of course, all the social media channels where you can connect with us. So if you want to find out any more about any of these events, please go to our website. Next, if anyone is new to Unity, we have a special way that we would like to welcome you. Every month here at Unity, we share some of our abundance, some of our treasure with safety net organizations in the area. And as a way to welcome you, we would like to make a donation to one of these organizations in your name. So if that's something of interest to you, there's a Connect card in the pew in front of you. It's got a little QR code on there. You can scan the QR code, or you can just take that card into the bookstore. We'll send you an email, and you can choose the charity that you'd like to start supporting through Unity. Next, I would like to ask our prayer chaplains to please stand. There's Sarah Ann and Emmy. Yay! So if you are in need of prayer today, Sarah Ann and Emmy will be in the sanctuary where they are. You might have something that you're struggling with. You might have something really exciting that you want to share. They are here to lovingly hold sacred space for you, and we thank them for doing this for our community. Thank you. And now, it's time for the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we.
And now our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Love and blessings, everyone. Have a wonderful week.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a
Holy.
holy way.
Yeah. Mr. Ronnie Bentley.